Hey, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna give you full disclosure. We'll give you a full warning, or a warning, I should say. What I'm about to say may piss some of you off, and you know what? I don't care at this point because some of you need to understand the realities of the situation I'm about to speak about and the history of this country. First of all, George Zimmerman is not the first person of color to think like a white person. Not the first person of color to want to do harm to the so-called black person. Okay. We need to understand that, okay? The media first got a hold of the story, they treat it like every other case of a black person being killed by somebody. They talked about it in the local area if it got national coverage or got some coverage on the internet, and then it went to the wayside. It was to black men and black women like myself and you out here, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, or other internet sites, start getting the ball rolling, talking about the story. Then it got to the level where Reverend Sharpton, Reverend Jackson, the NWCP, they got involved. And thank God they did because they put a public face to it. But I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, like I've said in my other videos, this may not go the way we want it. Okay? Listen to how the tone has changed. Listen how the media has gone after the supporters, the protesters. Now, here it is. When a black child, a black man, or a black woman gets murdered, people want to say, well, why don't you argue about this? Why don't you say that? When we do talk about the crime within our community, we talk about how people have benefited from our pain and suffering. But you're not supposed to call out a white person or somebody who thinks they're white. Zimmerman is not white. He is Peruvian. So guess what? Zimmerman got more connection with me and you than we care to admit. But they don't associate themselves as being part of the family. It's only when it's convenient for them. Notice when he got arrested, how everybody came out and said, well, he's not racist, he's a person of color. Wait a minute, why is he all to say he's a person of color? But when he associates himself and looks at himself as being a white person. Now people gonna say, why would you say that? Easy. Actually said, why is daddy covering his face? Why is daddy hiding his ethnicity? Because what? His father is identified as Jewish. And usually people who are claimed to be identified as Jewish very strongly in this country just claim to be white and Jewish. A lot of people have to separate the part that being Jewish is a religious belief. Okay? He's a retired judge. You got one of your sons out there showing his face, but daddy won't show his face. Really think about that, brothers and sisters. Think about the first interview he gave. He gave it to a Fox affiliate. He said President Obama, the Congressional Black Caucus, the WACP, the black leaders in the black community are hateful. That's what he said. Remember that? Then he goes on Sean Hannity's of all people show. And what did he do? He says that we're making threats towards his son. He's doing this. People are just saying hateful things, making threats. They just saying it. His son actually took a gun and shot a 17-year-old child in the chest. His nose is broke. Come on now. People say, well, you know what happened February 26th. Okay, how long does it take for a nose to heal? And then guess what? It's still going to be signs of a broke nose. Today is only the 13th now. He was arrested on the 11th. Come on, I'm not dumb. And then they had a special. You know, the people go on TV and they can tell you, compare before and after image. They know once you have I'm telling you, he had no broken nose. He probably, if Trayvon hit him and it bled, that's probably what happened. But if he had a broken nose, blood been everywhere. We had a gash on his head. How do we know that he didn't fall on the ground after he shot Trayvon? Or how do we know that he was tussling, grabbed Trayvon and tussled and tripped and fell on himself? And Trayvon was trying to get him. He pushed Trayvon off of him. See, there's so many different scenarios, but they all go back to Zimmerman being an asshole, being a killer. And then you got people in the community who could identify themselves as Latin, saying that, you know, we're people of color. We all got to stand together. But yet, where are the videos of talking about this case? Matter of fact, some of the names out here on YouTube I've recognized from other channels saying, long live Zimmerman, free Zimmerman. He killed that nigger. He killed that thug. It's not just white America or whites saying these hateful things. Then you got black folks out here saying, I'm tired of the story. Wait a minute, brothers and sisters. You should say that shit out in public. You should even think that shit. This is why we in the community have apathy, because we don't focus on our issues or our stories. Is Trayvon the first black child to be murdered? No. Will he be the last black child to be murdered? Unfortunately, no. But this case does have so many similarities to Emmett Till because people use the law to try to get around doing harm to us. Do you think if I, as a black man, shot a Mexican or Asian or a white person, that the law would have let me walked around for damn near 2 months? No. No. You got people in the media criticizing those who are protesting, saying, well, the black community should be outraged at other things. How dare you? But when you see the TV, turn on the TV and they try to say, can you get a fair trial? Wait a minute. You guys will ask such questions when we get accused of something. Matter of fact, when we say, hey, some of our brothers and sisters have been falsely accused or been set up. Oh, that's what they all say. How many times have black men, black women, or black children, regardless of what they're doing in life, whether it be something happening at school or work or just in personal interactions, how many times have people jumped to conclusions? I ain't never heard anybody say, let's get all the facts. It's just 2 sides, actually 3 sides to the story. And we sit back as black folk, we just let everybody say whatever the hell they want to say to us and about us. I mean, Sean Hannity actually got on TV and actually publicly saying that he think Zimmerman got overcharged. Wait a minute, hold on. How many times have white people been found murdered and the media goes crazy? Just think about when Natalie Holloway disappeared. I was in Iraq when it happened. That shit got all the way to Iraq. Come back home, still talking about it. To this day, they still talk about it. Last year, when that terrorist went and shot those people in Arizona, the Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, and that little girl was one of the victims that got killed. Then the country like, we're in mourning. Everybody had the somber ass tone. Let's not forget. Matter of fact, her mother was on TV, was it last month or a month before last, peddling the book. But when our children now, or something happened to us, we ain't supposed to say shit. Now, I'm going to let y'all know something. I've said this before. I've said this again. On all 3 of my channels, this is my 3rd channel, and this is my, I don't forget how many times I've said it in my videos. Zimmerman may walk. I know it may be hard for some of you. I know some of you figure this is an open and shut case, but you have to remember something. His father is a retired judge. Don't think he don't have any juice. Why do you think Zimmerman walked around as long as he did? Because I'm going to tell you, that stand your ground law is stupid because he was told to stand down. I mean, think about it. You think Trayvon saw the guy in his SUV, walked over, opened up and pulled him out and said, I'm going to kill you. Come on. Zimmerman saw a black kid. He wanted to know where he's at. Trayvon probably kept walking and tried to run away from him because he knew who he was. He grabbed him. They started tussling, and Trayvon probably got a look or 2 in. And they enraged him like, how dare you hit me? Don't you know who I am? Remember, this guy wanted to be a cop. He wanted to be in law enforcement. He took that gun, shot him center mass. Center mass. That means he pointed at his chest. He didn't shoot him in the arm. He didn't shoot him in the leg. He didn't shoot him in the foot. He didn't graze him. He shot him center mass. So you get your people like Dick Morris, Geraldo Rivera, Greta Van Susteren, Rush Limbaugh, Tucker Carlson, Bill O'Reilly, Michelle Malkin, and any of these Sambos out here talking that Trayvon was a thug or he had problems in school. Black folks need to start doing the same thing about these little white boys and white girls go missing. We need to start saying the same thing these white kids shoot up schools. We need to start saying the same thing when these white girls get pregnant and throw their babies in dumpsters or leave them in the bathroom stalls or throw them in dumpsters. Maybe black folks need to start going around doing the same thing to people like Zimmerman. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the crime that befalls our community is people like Zimmerman that come in and use this fucking target practice. If you're going to talk about it all.